You do not need more signs to know whether your manifestation is going to come true or not. You need personal power. But what is personal power? How is that created? What does that look like? And why, Hannah? Let's talk about it, and be sure to save this video and watch all the way through, because I'm going to be dropping so many gold nuggets that are going to completely change the manifestation game for you. So you can blow your own mind and get insane results, because I know you did not come to this planet to get no mediocre results. You came here to blow your own freaking mind with what you can create in this lifetime. Now, before we get into the video, my name is Hannah Love. I'm your favorite manifestation coach and content creator. I make manifesting simple because it is simple, and I am here to help you get what you want in life, in love, money, and business, and more, through my Simply Successful method that I walk my clients through. I've worked with over 2,000 clients thus far and have successfully manifested in every area of my life over and over and over again. So I'm damn good at it. I help my clients get damn good at it too. So let's get into the video. First thing to understand is that you're always manifesting. There is not an on and off switch to manifestation. With law of assumption specifically, it is a branch off of manifestation. That's specifically what I teach. Is whatever you assume about yourself and of others and the world around you is what you experience. So whatever stories you're constantly telling yourself and feeding into with and through repetition, whether you believe it or not yet, if you keep choosing the same story over and over and over, it'll eventually manifest, come true, and then become an assumption of yours. So if you are the operant power and you understand this, that you're creating everything in your reality based upon your assumptions, you also know that you don't need a tarot reader, you don't need signs, because you are the one creating the signs. You are the one deciding what is possible or what is not possible based upon the stories you keep telling yourself, which come from an assumption. And that assumption comes from an identity. So we all have multiple identities in love, money, business, lifestyle, career, and so on. So if you're trying to manifest more money in your business, for example, but you have all of these stories in an identity when it comes to money, that it's hard to come by, it's inconsistent, you don't see yourself as the type of woman who can make more and more and more, who trusts herself with money, maybe you avoid money altogether, maybe you're even afraid to look at your bank account, or maybe you obsess over looking at your bank account or your Stripe account and how many sales you got that day. This tells me you're operating from an identity of never enough, or an identity of anxiety around money. So you want to change that identity into being the wealthy woman, right? The woman who sees herself as someone who trusts herself with money, who always makes it, multiplies it, it's always growing, she's always getting sales, attracting dream clients, which that's a whole nother other identity. You have an identity in business as well, which affects the way you show up in business, how you perceive your clients, how you think they perceive you, the content you post, and so forth. But that's a whole nother other video. But anyways, keeping it to one topic on money, if you start to see yourself as this wealthy woman identity, that's the reality you're gonna start experiencing. So money never feels like this restrictive thing that has power over you, or is way up here and you're like way down here and it's hard for you to obtain. But it's easy for you to obtain and manifest and continue to grow and expand because you trust yourself, because that is your identity. And then you have assumptions from those identities that you embody, and then you act from that place, which creates your 3D reality and the experiences that you have, because through those experiences you assign meaning to those experiences. So when you know this, you don't need a sign, you don't need a tarot reader, because you know they're just reflecting back your dominant assumptions about yourself, which come from your identity, aka who you are being, who you've been choosing to be over and over and over. So then when you realize this, you know that you can change your identity, and you flex and build your personal power through who you choose to be and how you lead yourself each and every day, even when the results do not show. So a lot of people think personal power, being this master manifester, having all of this confidence with manifesting, comes from the result. It doesn't come from the result. It comes through who you are choosing to be over and over and over again in the in between, when you don't have evidence yet and when you don't see the results. Because then what happens is, if you just decide this is inevitable, it is going to happen, I am not going to take no for an answer because that is not who I am, you persist, and then the results start to show, and then you're like, holy shit, if I can do that in this area of my life, like in money or business, I can do it in other areas, in love, lifestyle, career, whatever else it is, because you have led yourself even through the moments that felt hard, even when you had doubt, even despite having anxiety or the 3D showing the opposite. You still persisted anyways, which comes from personal power. And when you have personal power, I get goosebumps as I say this, you don't need signs. You don't need tarot readers. You don't need to constantly be looking up more videos on manifestation signs that my SP is coming in, more money is coming in, business is coming in, because you don't rely on the external validation so much. You rely on your personal power, who you choose to be and how you lead yourself every single day. And my clients who have developed this personal power go on to creating these insane, amazing lifestyles that are far from mediocre. They blow their own minds over and over and over again because of the personal power that they develop. They go on to manifesting their dream homes with their dream partner, families, brand deals that they never even imagined possible once before. People telling them, holy crap, are you famous? Like walking up to them because of their magnetism and the way that they carry themselves. They have a whole new level of confidence. They manifest their SPs, appearance changes, dream bodies, new levels of income that they never even imagined, like they quantum leap their income. They manifest dream clients that are here to stay the long term, and instead of clients that kind of treat you like a Kleenex and then move on after they get what they need. Like they go on to creating these insane results over and over and over because of who they choose to be over and over and over, because of their personal power, not codependence on the signs or needing external validation all the time to dictate how they move, how they feel about themselves, or the actions that they take, or what is or isn't possible. So you want to ask yourself, where have I been giving my personal power away to the signs, tarot reader, to the circumstances that I'm currently experiencing, to my own emotions because of the meaning I'm currently giving the 3D? And if I fully owned and embodied my personal power, what would I be doing differently now and moving forward? And if you want this kind of personal power in love, money, and business, career, and then some, and you want to create long-lasting results because you know you're a freaking icon. Deep down, you've always known that you are special, that you are different, that you are meant to have it all in this lifetime. You're done with settling, people pleasing, playing small because you know that's not who you are and you want it all, and you've been actively working on this, then the Manifestation Hotline membership is perfect for you, because this is where you go from getting pretty good results on a pretty consistent basis to creating insane results on a long-term basis because of the identity we help you build on a long-term basis in the membership. So instead of your results being seasonal in love, money, and business, or inconsistent, they are long-term because of your solid identity and personal power. The Manifestation Hotline membership is in the link in my bio or description below, depending on where you're watching this, because I post daily on TT and YT.